Now I'd like to introduce Lori Andrus. Lori graduated from Duke University School of Law with honors. She started her own woman-owned law firm in 2007 and has represented hundreds of women who have been harmed by dangerous drugs or faulty medical devices. She is a strong, caring advocate for her clients. Lori was our family's hero and fought to help bring justice to those who owed Shane better medical care.
Good evening. I am told that Shane was magnetic. I know that when she walked into a room, everyone wanted to be close to her. She excelled in school. She loved fishing with her dad. And she took great care of everyone surrounding her. I know these things, but only secondhand. And I learned them only after things had gone horribly, terribly wrong. When I was asked to take Shane's case, the first task was to try to unravel the complex set of circumstances that ultimately resulted in her death. I was asked to go back to the beginning, to leave no stone unturned. That's what Arnold said. And to help guide this family out of the fog that surrounded them after Shane's death. So I went back to the beginning, and it all started with a pill. We have been taught to trust pharmaceutical companies completely. You have a sore back? Take this pill. You want thick eyelashes? Take this pill. Don't worry about side effects. They rarely happen. And we, being naturally optimistic, think, well, it wouldn't happen to me. The truth is, unfortunately, it can happen to you or to someone you love. All birth control pills contain the risk of blood clots, but some are worse than others. In my view, pharmaceutical companies promote these drugs without due concern to women, and without sufficient testing, and without sufficient warnings. As an example, the Ortho-Evra birth control patch was released to market after being tested on only 3,300 women. It is impossible to measure the incidence of stroke in 3,300 women, but that's what they did. The Ortho-Evra birth control patch has been referred to as an estrogen bomb. Yaz contains a synthetic progestin, and the risks of that synthetic progestin are not fully understood. It's man-made and it's new, but it's one of the most popular birth controls on the market, and it has been marketed and sold to millions of women. In pursuit of profits, women are put at great risk and without medical justification. It's unacceptable. Yaz was even marketed to teenagers for acne. And Bayer has since been fined and warned to stop making that claim because it has no scientific basis. Despite these dangers, these drugs are heavily marketed, and women continue to be put at risk for no good reason at all. In my practice, I've seen firsthand the devastating and long-term effects that these potent drugs can have on an otherwise healthy young woman. For Shane, Yasmin was the beginning of a chain of events that ultimately took her life. Like other women who've suffered blood clots while on hormonal birth control, Shane was at greater risk of future blood clots. And additionally, Shane may have had an undetected genetic predisposition for clotting. Unfortunately, women are not routinely tested for these conditions before they're started on birth control. You just walk in and get a prescription. And worse yet, some genetic clotting disorders are still undetectable. Like Shane, women who develop clots are typically forbidden from ever taking oral contraceptives again, but the severity of the dangers that they face in pregnancy and in a C-section are not always explained to them. It is imperative that women are fully informed of the risk of clotting that they face during pregnancy. If women in the medical community are not cognizant of the dangers of maternal fetal clotting, what happened to Shane will repeat itself again and again and again. I am a trial lawyer. My job is to uncover the truth, to hold wrongdoers accountable, and to seek justice. And when a grieving spouse or a family who has lost a loved one comes to me and asks for my help, I know that no matter how hard I work, and no matter how badly I want it, I cannot give them the one thing that they truly want. And that's to have their daughter back, or their wife back, or their sister back. So together, we try to give a voice to the tragedy. We try to mark the time and the place and the manner of what happened. And we try to make sure that it doesn't happen to others. Together, we try to right the wrong. And that's why the Shane Foundation is so vitally important. With your help, we will work to inform women of the risk of maternal fetal clotting and the dangers that lurk in the dark. And we will work with the medical community to make sure that appropriate treatments and diagnostic techniques are understood and utilized. Together, we will achieve justice for Shane. Thank you.
Here's what I would like from you. Talk about it. Tell every woman you know, your sisters, friends, wives. We all have to be prepared to talk to our daughters about birth control. And we have to report accurately and honestly to our doctors about our habits and family medical histories. 2, ask your doctors about your potential risk factors. Start the dialogue. It can save lives. 3, please support the Shane Foundation. Give what you can to help us work with the March of Dimes to prevent the health risks of maternal fetal clotting disorders. Your generous donations will support medical research and education programs among patients and professionals so that no one again has to succumb to something she didn't even know could hurt her or her baby. Although inspired by and named for my sister, the Shane Foundation is most certainly not just about Shane. As my mom said, blood clots are the leading cause of preventable patient deaths in all U.S. hospitals. Let's work together to change this. I have many people I'd like to thank, without whose support and hard work, the Shane Foundation would not be possible. First, again, please let me express my thanks to Dr. Doheny, Lori Andrus, and Allison Sprafkin for being with us. Amazing. Thank you to all of you. Thank you. Sorry, come in wrong. Thank you to all of you who are here tonight. Without your generosity, the Shane Foundation pretty much ends here, and we have so much work to do. I would also like to thank the Sinai Temple community for its ongoing support, including providing this venue and so much more. Special thanks to Judy Bagan and Howard Lesser. Thanks to our caterers, oh hi Howard, you came. Special thanks to someone in the kitchen for their flexibility and kindness, and to Keystone Printers for their generous donation of printed materials. Thanks to Carrie Hilliker for making the beautiful online invitations free of charge. Turns out her own sister suffered a maternal fetal thrombophilia, but thankfully she and her baby survived. Ask your friends, it's all around. Thanks to Tracy McCubbin, I love you, where are you? Josh Beisel, and Matt Shershow for being an inspiration and for your helpful advice. Thanks to Mike Sarner, love you, for donating his filmmaking skills and shooting tonight's event. Thank you to United Talent Agency for providing our wonderful volunteers ready at the back to accept your generous donations. A giant thank you to Reed Hamilton, who designed and built our website, consulted on all technical aspects, and did so much more. and flatly refuses to accept a dime for his services. Thanks also to my husband, John, who must have said the words, "anything you need," about 1,000 times. No person could be more supportive in every way. Thanks to my parents, without whose efforts the Shane Foundation simply wouldn't exist. My dad formed the foundation from the ground up. My mom researched and wrote every word of the website, forged the partnership with the March of Dimes, introduced us to our magnificent Dr. Duani, and did so much more I can't even list it all. The fortitude and dedication of my parents to the cause of justice for Shane, and the proposition that others benefit from the knowledge we didn't have, is indescribable. Last, I thank Shane for being, without a doubt, the most beautiful person I've ever known, and whose spirit inspires everything we do now and forever. Thank you so much.
Think I was going to say anything? Who here thought I wasn't going to say anything? First of all, how about my daughter and my wife? Unlike Jack Dawson, Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Titanic, and the rest of us who will exist only in the memory of 2 or 3 generations. Thanks to this Shane Foundation and your loving, generous support, Shane's beauty inside and out, her name and her memory will live on and on and on, and will continue to do good and be a benefit to generations of young women. Thank you, each and every one of you.